Hello class, this is a video tutorial on quadratic functions part 5. This is just a continuation on calculating the equation of a quadratic function. In the previous video, you saw how we took the 3 points, substituted them into the expression ax squared plus bx plus c 3 different times, and then we came up with 3 different equations. And we solved them simultaneously until we found the 3 different values for A, B, and C, which gave us our final solution here. Whoops, I'm erasing this. Plus 3. But now I'm going to do an example where it's not as obvious, and we are unsure what points we are to use. Okay, so here we go. A parabolic satellite is 80 meters deep and 30 meters deep and 80 meters wide. 1i, find an equation of the parabola. We won't even get to the second question just yet because we require to answer the first question. Now, it may not look as obvious, but we can overlay, meaning put over, a a Cartesian plane above this. So with some imagination, we can see that, well, if this is 80 meters wide, if we let the axis of symmetry here be the y-axis, and let this bit here be the x-axis, that means this point here and this point here can be known. Can you figure out what it is? Consider it. Well, if this is 80 meters apart, well then halfway here must be 40 meters. Okay? Which tells me that this point here is at x is equal to 40. This point here is x equals 40, which means this point all the way down here is x is equal to negative 40. Similarly, if this is the origin at 0, 0, then this point here at the vertex of this parabola is 0. Can you figure out what the y value is? Well, hopefully you can see from the height of the satellite dish being 30, this point here must be 30. So here are the 3 points we'll be using. Here's my solution to question 1i. We have the points negative 40, 0, because this point here hasn't moved up or down. We have the point 0, 30, and we have the point 40, 0. We're going to substitute this into our expression. F of x equals ax squared plus bx plus c. Okay, so let's substitute this each time. If we take f of negative 40, this will give us a negative 40 squared plus b negative 40, plus c is equal to, well, it shows here that if x is equal to negative 40, f of negative 40 is this answer here. So it's going to be 0. Evaluating these numbers, it's going to be very large numbers. Negative 40 squared is 1600a plus, minus 40b plus c is equal to 0. Okay, let's do the other side. We have f of 40 is equal to a 40 squared plus b times 40 plus c is equal to 0. This is going to give us a similar solution, 1600a plus 40b plus c is equal to 0. That's our second substitution. And our third one, f of 0 is equal to, well, a times 0 squared plus b times 0 plus c is equal to 30. And that's very simply, c is equal to 30. Here's my first equation, second, and third. I'm going to collect these off to the side here. Here's my first equation, 1600a minus 40b plus c is equal to 0. Take the second one here, also equaling 0. And the last one, c is equal to 30. First equation, second, and third. A very simple substitution now. I can substitute c equals 30 into both of them. We get 1600a plus, should be a plus, I'm sorry, there should be a plus. Here's my first equation substitution, 40b plus 30 is equal to 0. 1600a plus 40b plus 30 is equal to 0. And now from here we can see that we have simultaneous equations. I'm going to do some elimination because it's already set up for me here. I'd like to eliminate a from the equation by subtraction. Okay, so it's going to be 1600a minus 1600a. That's going to be 0. Negative 40b minus positive 40 is going to be negative 80b. So it's going to be now 30, take away 30, well, that's just 0. That's equal to 0. Well, dividing both sides by negative 80, that will give me b is equal to 0. That is another point that we require, and the first is already here. Now substituting both of these, well, actually just one of these, into any one of these equations here can solve us for a. I'm going to substitute it into this one. This will give us 1600a plus 40 times 0 plus 30 equal to 0. This gives us 1600a equals negative 30 and a equals negative 30 over 1600. Let's see if this can simplify for us. Negative 3 over 160. All right. So this gives us the three values we need for f of x. So f of x is equal to negative 3 on 160 x squared. There is no b because bx plus bx, b is 0, so there is no bx, plus 30 from C here. That is the equation of the parabola. Let's now solve the second question that asks us, calculate the depth of the dish 10 meters from the vertex. Well, that merely means if this is the vertex here, okay, so the vertex is at this point, 10 meters from it means if we move forward 10 meters, or if we move backwards 10 meters from the origin. Okay, so we need to figure out what the value of x here. X is here, that's really simple, that's just 10. This one is negative 10. And we just need to substitute that into the equation of the line. Okay, so now let's do this. So we need to substitute f of 10 into this equation. This will give us negative 3 over 160 10 squared plus 30. Negative 3 over 160 times 10 squared plus 30. This will give us 28.125 meters. Now I would substitute in f of negative 10, but I will know that this is also going to give me the same answers, because a parabola is symmetrical on both sides. So if this height here is 28.125, this height being symmetrical is also going to be 28.125 meters. So I hope that gave you an insight into calculating the equation of a parabola from a scenario. Hope to see you in the next video. Best of luck.